Audio Toolbox.
I love it because it's so portable.
Gotta download the Odyssey app for sure.
From KDAWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We're also out there on that Odyssey app. If you have not downloaded the app, I am telling you that there is just a chunk of your brain that is not functioning. You'll feel better. Your mind will be freed and joyous. Get that Odyssey app right now. AUDACY. It's got all of our great shows from KDAWN plus, oh my God, just shows from all over the world. It is an unbelievable app. You may not turn it off. Go get it right now. AUDACY. We are also live streaming on X, YouTube, and Facebook. X at Mark Hoke Show, and the other two are at the Mark Hoke Show. Follow us, like, subscribe, do a little dance, whatever makes you happy. But just come join the fun. We'd love to have you get in here, and it's going to be a fascinating show today as we bring you the best in pro wrestling between what went on yesterday, and we have a great guest coming up. David Shabazz is the author of Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions. He's got a 3rd edition out, and we're going to have him on the show in hour number 2. Should be a fascinating discussion. So stick around. We got 2 hours of a terrific show for you. And just to make the show even a little bit better, all the boys that are normally here were tied up today. So I decided, I got to get somebody who's pretty darn good to come on the show. So I called up my good friend Jason Halperin and got him in here. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Mark. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, I just wish I could get you to root for the right teams. You just all that Pittsburghy stuff. Come
on, man. Just because you say it, we gotta get that in there.
Yeah. All right. There it is. It's the cup of losers at this point.
Well,
I can't say
right now they're both losers. So
yeah, I'm a Flyers fan. Yeah, we both suck right now. But
it's a 10-year rebuild for both teams.
I don't know if the Flyers rebuild's ever going to end, but yeah. But what a crazy day too. And by the way, for those of you who might be listening, sitting around at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, wow, hundreds of thousands of people down there. It's going to be an amazing day down at Glendale. Whew.
Yeah, it's going to be something special down there.
Yeah. So be safe. Don't do anything stupid. And when you drive home, I know that's kind of if you go the right way, it's kind of a crazy drive. So, be good out there. But man, dude, what a day yesterday. We got our head-to-head matchup, and we did have it crossed over. And I got to tell you, I absolutely love that. But we had AEW All Out, which started at the official pay-per-view, started at noon yesterday. And then we had WWE WrestlePalooza, which started at 4 yesterday. Jason, I haven't really given you a shot at this. How do you feel about this counter programming stuff? I will take credit for bringing it to the world's attention. I did. And, but one of the AEW fans had a rather, shall we say, spiteful sign about it that got some attention at All Out. What do you think about WWE's strategy of scheduling on top of AEW events? Is this a good idea or not?
I think it brings it back to the old 90s when you used to go head to head WWE and Nitro versus Raw. It wasn't. I personally don't think it's the best strategy. There's only so many wrestling fans out there. They're gonna pick it. They're gonna have to pick and choose, especially when you're dealing with these PLEs.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, that was a long day of pro wrestling, to say the least. But right now, I just think that it hurts the fans. You know, and look, this isn't like it used to be. Like, you know, you brought up the Monday Night Wars. Now you can go and catch up, and it's not a problem. Back then, you had to decide unless you were the master of the VCR. You know, I mean, if you didn't know how to set the VCR in the other room, you were screwed. So you had to choose between, I'm either going to watch WWE or WWF at the time, or I'm going to watch WCW. Now, if I want to, I'll go back and watch WrestlePalooza, and I've chosen to watch All Out. You know, it's not that big of a deal to a point, but it's just, you know, you want to see the stuff live, and man, it's just, I mean, they did cross over the events yesterday. Like I said, the AEW pay-per-view got into the main event right around when John Cena and Brock Lesnar were having their little, well, I don't even know if I want to call it a match, but you know, that's crazy that you have to make that decision, Jason. I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't agree with it. I mean, if you're gonna do it, at least try to time it where one is ending as the other one hasn't started yet, to give the fans the opportunity. I mean, that's one way to do it, or just, you know what, there's plenty of days and plenty of weeks in the year that you can plan these things.
Yeah,
don't have to.
Yeah, and don't tell me that Tony Khan, in his little response there, didn't have that card running a little long yesterday.
Of course they do. You do it on purpose.
I would have.
I mean,
I definitely. I was watching, as I was watching All Out, I'm kind of looking at the clock, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna do it. They're gonna overrun into WrestlePalooza. That is sweet, sweet.
But you know, the sad thing is, though, is that on the flip side, you look at the WWE, and you don't have to have the Cena Lesnar match as the first match.
Well, that's what they did. They switched it. That was the main event of the day. It should have been.
It should have. It's not going to be your last match. Make it your second last match. You know, stack it properly. There's other matches you could have had earlier. You could have easily had the Usos versus the Vision lead it off.
Yeah,
I mean that was the one match that probably was the least, big name match going on.
Yeah, you either have that, could get the eating to get everybody kind of fired up to start the show, or you put the women's match.
Yeah.
Could have put the women's match to open things up. Yeah. You know, which was a great match.
Absolutely. It was arguably the best match of the day on that card.
Yeah. I don't think there's any question it was. It was that was fantastic. So we do have a new women's champion. But yes, we survived the overlapping and the counter programming, and I doubt WWE is going to let up on it, but we're going to have an interesting story later on in the show talking about Tony Khan and a possible response to the WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia in 2 years. Yeah. But we'll get to that in a little bit. Well, let's talk WrestlePalooza first.
All right.
I want to hit that one because there was, so we got 5 matches on this card, and I guess let's just get it out there. Lesnar and Cena, a squash on John Cena where he's got about 2 or 3 matches left to go. And we replayed SummerSlam 2014.
I was about to say, is this going back? Are we just winding the clocks back again? Because that's all it was.
I was at the Raw the next night, and after Brock Lesnar came out, and he and Mr. Heyman were crowing a little bit. And rightfully so. It was a lot of fun, but I'm going to say this. I didn't like this matchup being made in the first place, because here's your issue. All right. If John wins, you hurt Brock on his return, right? You don't want to have Brock Lesnar come back and lose. So now but then you book it the other way. And now you got John Cena taking a big L, and I mean a big L. He got F5 6 times. That's Lesnar's finishing move. So John Cena gets destroyed on his retirement tour. And now, and then you stack on top of that, where do you go from here? Triple H says this is a movie. Okay, there's more acts to this movie. There's more scenes to come. So your other problem now is John going to get his revenge during this whole thing somehow? Or, do you just ignore it and just let Brock do his thing and John do his thing? But you've damaged John Cena. And if you have a rematch, you go back to the same problem that I just said. Cena beats Lesnar when he's just coming back. So this to me, this match should not have been made. Period. What do you think?
I think making the match was okay. I mean, if you look at their history between the two of them, Lesnar had pretty much dominated Cena in the past. So having him come out and dominating him again, not a big deal. I mean, was the match really necessary? Probably not. It's just, hey, let's just throw two big name stars who started their careers about the same time. Let's throw them in together and have the same result that we've had many times over. I see the problem now, though, is that where do you go with Cena from here? Who's he going to go against now? I mean, you've already had him lose the title. You had him lose to a returning Lesnar. What happens to him? I mean, we know Lesnar is going to go on. He's back. He's going to start going back for titles. You're going to put him in the big picture for things. But the question is, with only 5 or 6, events left for Cena, where does he go from here? Who is he fighting? Are you bringing somebody else back? I mean, or are we going to? He's not fighting for titles anymore. I mean,
No.
I couldn't imagine him fighting for titles anymore. He had it. He has the record. He is the quote unquote GOAT. And where does he go from here?
Yeah, there were so many cool things that they could have done with this. He could have won the Intercontinental title along the way. He's never won that championship, and maybe that is something down the road. But there's just not a lot of time left. And what would have been to me the big PLE finish for him, you could have had at some point that the Rock screwed him over and had Dwayne and John do one more match at Survivor Series. But now you can't. You don't really have Dwayne in the picture now. Mostly because of his physique. If you didn't see that, he dropped a ton of muscle mass for this last movie role that he did. Now, could he get it back on? He could probably pump it up pretty quick if he really wanted to, I suppose. But that to me would have been the fitting way to do it. But you pulled him out of it because you screwed up that storyline earlier. So you're right, Jason. It's a question of who's it going to be? Or are you going to have we were talking before the show. You have Gunther finish off John Cena too, but what's the point of facing off with Gunther?
There's no point.
Yeah. So they have really painted themselves in a corner on this. I'm sure that there's a plan in place, but of course the plan got thrown out the window a little while ago. With John was getting ready to fight Cody Rhodes, and then all of a sudden said, "Hey, I'm back, everybody! Hustle, loyalty, respect! Yeah, baby, let's go! Time is now! Woo!"
It's like, hey, wait! I woke up, and all of a sudden, I'm good again.
Yeah, it's
the good thing.
This may go down as one of the most butchered storylines.
I'll tell you, a great one for me. It'll never happen though. Is if Tony Khan would put Adam Copeland on loan and let Edge come back for one night and have Edge and Cena. I mean, the battles they had, that could be an absolute great finisher for Cena's career. Never happened though, unfortunately.
No,
but that to me would be a great one there to cap it, but just won't happen.
It is interesting though, if you missed All Out. Well, John had earlier in a match done an homage to Edge in a match, and then last night Edge did the "You Can't See Me" and the whole thing in an Attitude Adjustment. So they're paying their respects to each other.
Yes,
but that would be cool. I just can't see those two making the phone call, especially with all of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, to have any sort of cooperation there. It just would seem impossible. Would it be great for the industry as a whole? Yes. But I also don't think that Tony would want to say, you know what? Yeah, we'll let Adam Copeland go on a WWE pay-per-view and do his thing, and they get all the love and we don't get anything. You got me thinking though. Jason Halperin got me thinking about this.
Like I said, it'd be great to see. It's one of those, you look at one of those great matchups to have. To me, I think that would be a great one. It's just never going to happen.
Wouldn't it be funny though if let's just say that they came to an agreement. Let's just say they did. We'll fantasy book this for 1 second. Picture John Cena walking in on Dynamite. Walking in on Dynamite and challenging Adam Copeland. Wow. So that would get your, it wouldn't be as big a rub as the match itself, but having John Cena make an appearance, there's money. There's money there.
There is money. Hey, you can even do it the old school way, going back to the Monday Night Wars. Don't actually have him walk in. Have him outside the arena. Give him a megaphone and outside the arena calling him out. Exactly.
On the door.
Exactly. Let's bring it back to the old Monday Night Wars and let's go that route. You don't actually come in the arena, but you're outside calling them out.
Oh. Hey Adam, you want to come out and play? Oh, that'd be funny. But yeah, it was just John Cena getting destroyed last night. It really put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Fortunately, the rest of the card, pretty good. We're going to talk about it when we come back. Plus, we'll be discussing AEW All Out. That's a big one. David Shabazz coming up, author of Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions 3rd edition, which you can get on his site, Amazon, Barnes Noble, everywhere else. And we've got a whole lot more. Oh, man. Crazy stuff happening in pro wrestling. Jason Halperin, I'm Mark Hoke. We'll be right back, everybody.
Are you still using an old-fashioned gas-burning furnace to keep your home comfortable this winter? Upgrading to a modern high-efficiency heat pump might be your solution. Many air supply clients save thousands after switching. If you're a homeowner and your heating system is over 10 years old, you qualify for a 100% free inspection and savings report. Now is the time to make the switch. Call Air Supply today and start saving. Call 702-328-0888 or visit airsupply.vegas.
Dear rocky roads, the 2025 Toyota Tacoma doesn't flinch. Rugged twists, been there. Rutted turns, done that. With tons of top tech, Tacoma is tougher than any terrain. And when the dust settles, Tacoma's legendary resale value means confidence for the road ahead. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Visit your Southern Nevada Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at Dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Dude, did you order the new iPhone 17 Pro? Got it from Verizon, the best 5G network in America. I never looked so good.
You look the same.
But with this camera, everything looks better, especially me.
You haven't changed your hair in 15 years. Selfies? Check, please.
New and existing customers can get the new iPhone 17 Pro, designed to be the most powerful iPhone ever. With eligible phone trade-in and unlimited ultimate. Any condition guaranteed. Best 5G source root metrics data, United States, 1H 2025. All rights reserved. Trade-in and additional terms apply for all offers. See Verizon.com for details.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard. Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I ended up going to a dentist, and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found the Brooks Night Guard. You mold it at home to the top or bottom teeth. Other mouth guards go all the way to the back, which allows the back teeth to touch. This is where most of the grinding and clenching occurs. The Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Order your Brooks Night Guard today and get 10% off plus free shipping. Go to brooksnightguard.com and enter the code BRUX91. That's BRUX91.
Stop your grinding with Brooks Night Guard.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, let's keep it rolling here. I didn't hear no bell. We got a long way to go on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Yeah. You changed your name officially, Jason Halperin. Very happy to have you back. And I do need to remind everybody, WrestleMania, of course, is coming to Las Vegas next year. And I am already hearing that the hotel prices have gone through the roof. They have gone crazy.
Shocker.
Yeah, not surprising. But fortunately, Hokamania is here to help you out. You need to go to thetravelshark.com/Hoke Show right now. I'm looking. They have a sick dude. This is, and you could probably vouch for this, Jason. Westgate, where they have all the right near where they have the conventions and stuff by the convention center. They have a 66% off deal right now for that time frame. It's $65 a night.
That's an incredible deal. You're walking distance to the convention center. I mean, literally, it's less than 300 yards from the hotel. That's a great deal. And then you're just a short ride on an Uber down to the stadium.
Yeah. So actually, I'm sorry, that's Westgate Flamingo Bay. But yeah, you're good.
Still,
yeah,
you're still good.
It's still good. Get on there right now. You can sign up for free. It's powered by Priceline. You don't have to worry about a mystery price on a hotel or trying to get the employee deals. You're going to get the best deal you can get at thetravelshark.com/Hoke Show. There's a lot of terrific deals out there right now, guys. So get your rooms booked. We're getting closer.
Don't wait. It only gets worse as it gets closer.
Yeah, you're going to be paying hundreds of dollars a night if you don't jump on it. So there's some great deals on there at thetravelshark.com/Hoke Show. All right, going down through what happened at WrestlePalooza. By the way, on the Brock Lesnar match, Paul Heyman introduced Brock Lesnar last night.
I thought that was a great touch, personally, getting him back in there, getting him involved. It also, to me, thinking about that, also opens the door. You look at it, could there be a reunion right there? Could you have a Brock Lesnar becoming the fourth for the Vision?
Oh,
they're only sitting with 3. You kind of need 4.
Well, you got Becky.
Okay, you still kind of need 4.
Yeah, you need another. You could use another dude.
Exactly. You just look at how it's been going. Obviously we're going into the match where you had the Usos and the Vision going into it. You still have LA Knight involved in there. You still have CM Punk involved in there. Last time I checked, that's the Usos, CM Punk, LA Knight. That's 4. Only have 3 on the other side.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on with LA Knight. He's jumping on an Uso, was guest refereeing last night and just letting everybody eat each other with chairs. It was pretty awesome. But I will say the possibility of Brock Lesnar working with Braun Breaker.
Oh, that could be crazy.
That could be fun.
That could be crazy.
That could be fun. And boy, and just imagine if Brock turned on those guys.
Yeah. It opens up a great thing for him.
Yeah. So there you go. There you go, Trips. I got you. But the Vision gets the win last night. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker over the Usos. Pinfall victory, but of course controversial because LA Knight was just saying, pull out chairs, whack each other. I don't care.
Yeah,
in so many words. I can't say what he actually said. But yeah, so nice win for the Vision last night. And then we have the Women's World Championship. That title had been vacated by Naomi because of her pregnancy. And Stephanie Vaquer is your new Women's World Champion. And what a rise for Vaquer, going from, she was kind of in a throwaway match on AEW to WWE snapping her up. And in just a matter of months, she goes from being on NXT to becoming the Women's World Champion. And I'm certainly not going to criticize her because she's awesome, other than I think the Devil's Kiss is a stupid move.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that every week. It's a stupid move.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand the point of it. Don't like it.
But you have to think about how quickly this rise happened, that she debuted and it made her televised in-ring debut on NXT on October 15th of last year. This has been a 1-year rise, and considering the depth of the WWE women's division, how unbelievable is this? Just the only downside that I do see is now where do you go? But what a great run for Stephanie. You got to be happy for her.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think it's been an absolutely fantastic run for her. I don't think this is what the WWE wanted, though. Obviously, with Naomi having to vacate the title, you had to pivot. So it was okay. Let's bring some new blood in there. Let's not keep the same two at the top. I think that was kind of the move they've done here. But yeah, like you said, where do you go from here? I mean, she's not going to be a one pay-per-view and done champion.
And what I would have loved to have been in the room before Naomi's pregnancy became public, and they found out about this, because Vicaire was scheduled to wrestle the women's world champion at Clash in Paris last month.
Correct.
So was the plan for her to beat Naomi there, or did they just make a total pivot? Once again, this is kind of building to a bigger point as we go along, is this kind of a little bit of slapshot booking by WWE. What was, now this is, I guess you can kind of call it an injury or a health issue, but what were they going to do before that?
Yeah.
It's
a really good question. I always thought that the WWE was actually going to eventually have Naomi have the title for a bit, and I really thought that the person that was going to beat her was Jade Cargill.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought that was going to be the move, was getting Cargill off of SmackDown, getting her over on the Raw, and continuing that battle between the two. It just didn't happen.
Yeah. And I don't know where WWE is going with Jade Cargill. I really don't.
They need to go heel. She's a perfect heel.
Perfect heel. The interesting part, and I've read people saying about Jade Cargill, is that Tony may have not made as big a push to keep her as people would have thought, because, well, she's a little shaky in the ring. Let's just be honest. I mean, and it's not, and I'm not saying that she can't do it or anything like that. Just, she's very raw. She'd only had about 50 or 60 matches in AEW before she went to WWE. So she was a project, and maybe the team at AEW saw some things that they didn't like and just said, you know what, we're not going to really fight to keep you. And she's in a weird place, very weird place. So I don't know. By the way, in the chat box, which you can join into if you would like, on X, YouTube, and Facebook, our good friend and super photographer, the Bionic Scoop, saying hi, Mark. He says, so what do we say back? We say, Scoop! There you go. Good to see you, Scoop. I think Scoop's going to enjoy the rest of the show, too. I hope he can stick around, because don't forget, we've got David Shabazz coming on, the author of, pardon me, I got the wrong tab up, History of Black World Wrestling, or History of, darn it, sorry. Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions 3rd edition. There we go. Got it right. I'm still recovering from last night, by the way.
Still in that food coma.
I got to tell you, a side story real quick. The station got me tickets to Revelry, which is a massive food and drink festival at the Wynn last night. And my daughter and I took full advantage. That was awesome. Oh, man. Got to meet Antonio LaFaso and Shirley Chung. I would have never thought in my life I'd get to eat their food. It was amazing. So, yeah, I am still recovering from that. All right. Back to our WrestlePalooza. So then we get CM Punk, AJ Lee against Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, doing all the fun spots. AJ Lee's putting Seth Rollins in the Black Widow, doing double team moves. It was fun. And AJ wrestled well. Good for her. I mean, I'm sure she hadn't been, and you can tell by the way she looks. She wasn't just sitting around hanging out and eating bonbons and see them in their little mansion there. But it was what it was. It's not gonna be a 5-star classic, but a fun match yesterday. It was fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you take it for what it's worth. This has kind of been played out a couple times by WWE. Go back to once again, you had Edge and Beth Phoenix, kind of doing the same thing before. The match is what it is. Personally, I'm getting a little tired of the beatdowns that the men are taking from the women in these matches. Can we go back to the 90s when you actually had some of the men were putting moves on the women as well, even if they were accidental? You don't really get that anymore. Why is that?
Yeah, you get the intergender matches are taking place on the indies. It's you just wonder when it's actually going to really hit.
Yeah.
In the main companies. I don't know if it will, because it's it's very, I mean, to a point I would think it's controversial in that a man is hitting a woman, but we had it in TNA when Tessa Blanchard beat the now retired Sami Callihan for the TNA World Championship. So
how long did China hold the Intercontinental title?
Yeah, a while.
Let's go back a little bit there. That's where it started.
Yeah.
I mean, and she held her own in those matches. There's a couple women that I can think of on these programs that can hold their own.
Oh, there's a lot of them now.
Exactly.
There's a lot of them now. People like Rhea Ripley and a certain young lady that we'll talk about in AEW, among others. But there are some powerful women out there that could get the job done. So, main event of yesterday, even though we know that the main event should have been John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Yes. I don't know if they just. I think there are two reasons they moved that match to start. One, because of the squash, they didn't want everybody going home sad because kids were crying and the stars were falling out of the sky, and it was just dogs and cats were falling in love and doing bad things to each other. It was just a nightmare over there after that match was over. But I think that was also put on to try and mess with AEW and a potential overlap and make you make a decision which match you were going to watch. But we ended up at the last match of the day was Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. Once again, good match. I'm not going to say there was anything terrible about it, but Drew McIntyre goes down again.
Shocker.
Oh,
absolute shocker that once again they underutilize him.
I know I'm sure there's a bigger plan for Cody Rhodes. And but I would say this if you're going to do this little game with AEW, how big of a deal would it have been to get people talking about your company and what you're doing, then have Drew go over on this? That would have dominated the headlines today.
Yeah,
without
absolutely.
a doubt. And WWE seems to be booking for moments now more than they're booking for a lot of long-term stuff. And I'm sure that they are. I mean, don't get me wrong, but you kind of see where the stress is. But now, what do you do with Drew? I mean, he gets there, but then he's just been losing and losing and losing. I mean, this is a guy that beat Brock Lesnar a few years ago at WrestleMania, even though it was during the COVID WrestleMania.
Yeah, but he still beat him, and he also carried it during COVID. I mean, everything being done in the dome. I mean, that was his only moment that you're giving this guy.
Yeah, I just don't understand what your thinking is with him, because to be honest with you, I think he probably is the best heel in WWE right now.
Oh,
I really
absolutely.
do. I mean, look what he does on social media. And I swear to God, I'll just say this too. I feel like sometimes WWE punishes people for doing well on social media on their own. It sure, I mean, they would probably deny that, but it sure seems like it. I just don't get what you're going to be doing with Drew McIntyre. This is a guy. like you kind of put him in a category with, say, like Natalia as an example. You know, like those two just for some reason just get so disrespected when it comes to the main event scene. I don't know.
Yeah, I really hope they give him a shot and they actually give him the title back and let him actually hold a title for a little bit. You know, you can't bring him into. You're not going to have him go after a lower title. He's not going to go after the U.S. Championship. You don't have the tag. You don't have a tag team partner for him. So yeah, where do you go with him?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, do you try to ship him over to Raw? But you really can't do anything over there with him either.
Yeah, they've
kind of in limbo.
They booked him in a very bad spot. But then Cody Rhodes keeps on rolling, and look, Cody's taking he's now even saying he's one of the guys that should be aligned to be the head of creative control in time for WWE, and he's really finding his way out there, and people love Cody. So I think it would have been fun to maybe do a little hot potato on the belt. I mean, and really would have been fun. Just imagine if Drew would have won, and then the next they pull something on SmackDown 5 days later, and Cody gets it back. That could have taken Drew's frustration level even higher.
But if you have a guy like Drew win it, it opens up the door to have that rematch with him and Lesnar.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Cody's got a movie coming up. Cody's, from what I've heard, is correct me if I'm wrong. He's going and doing the new Street Fighter movie.
Yeah,
he's going to be leaving for a little bit.
Yeah,
he's going to have to be gone for a little bit. Someone's got to take the title.
Yeah,
Drew's a perfect person to take that title from him.
Well, but I will say they've been moving those guys in and out of there pretty quick for that. So, we'll see. But yeah, so Drew McIntyre is the lonesome loser again, and then the All-American hero gets it done. But there's I don't really feel any Cody fatigue. So we'll see how this all turns out with WWE. But but once again, I think there's just kind of an overall theme of their booking, and them throwing this WrestlePalooza card together just shows that right now they are concerned about doing things fast, and we'll kind of hit that a little bit harder when we come back, because a lot of complaints about this ESPN thing. Oh boy. Nice presentation, but execution? I don't know.
That's a fail.
I don't know. Stick around, everybody. We got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, Talk of Las Vegas. We'll be right back.
Ready to hit the road in a new ride? One Nevada Credit Union believes your life should be rewarded. With a new or refinanced auto loan, One Nevada will let you skip payments for 90 days. You really can drive now and pay later. At One Nevada, we offer freedom from payment stress and more money in your pocket, so you spend less time worrying about financing and more time enjoying the drive. Our one focus is you. Check out the benefits of a One Nevada auto loan today at onenevada.org. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Welcome to Yoga for Beginners, where we say yes to less stress and no to auto loan payments.
What? Say yes to less stress with One Nevada Credit Union's 90-day no pay. Finance your new or used car with us, or move your current auto loan and don't make any payments for 90 days. That could be close to $4,000 in your pocket. Say no to payments and yes to less stress with One Nevada Credit Union's 90-day no pay auto loans. Visit onenevada.org today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Ready to kick off the fun? Chumba Casino is your go-to game plan during halftime or overtime. From spinning slots to instant scratch-style cards, it's like running the perfect play, all from home. New players score a free welcome bonus and daily logins with a shot at some serious prizes every time you play. Get in the game and visit ChumbaCasino.com today. Let's Chumba. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
I swear to God, I'm never going to get that right. If you guys are watching the live stream, I'm just pointing at stuff. Plus, I remember to put the signs behind me, too. That was helpful. Oh, my God. But join us on that live stream here as well as being with us on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, and the Odyssey app right here on the Mark Hoke Show. Jason Halperin on the show with me today, taking out time from his Sunday morning. And you're soccer free?
I wouldn't say soccer free, but I am. I made time this morning.
Oh, you're a sweetheart.
See, got to get priorities.
Yeah, this is better than soccer.
Absolutely.
I know. There's a lot of things that are better than soccer, like dancing around piles of dog poo. I'm sorry.
Well, that depends. I'm not really doing that very often, but the coaching aspect, hey, at least I'm giving back.
There you go. All right. Well, we're probably going to end up breaking up our coverage of All Out because we do have a very special guest coming on in hour number 2. David Shabazz is going to be joining us, the author of Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions. 3rd edition is out, and you're definitely going to want to look at this book. These just are amazing books that David has done, and I'm looking forward to getting to meet him and talk to him here on the show. Oh, and by the way, Bionic Scoop in the chat box said he already filmed a chunk of his guile roll. That was the initial Claymore through the table. That's right. You are correct, Scoop. Forgot about that. And he also, by the way, in the chat box says, hey, watch the soccer slander. I shall slander the game of kick flop anytime that I choose. Good luck. I will not stop. All right. AEW All Out. Pretty big success is WWE, debuting on ESPN. We'll bang that around a little bit more. But AEW had their debut also on HBO Max, by the way, which I somewhat forgot about when I, dug into the wallet. I probably should have gone to Max. Went on Amazon Prime. They didn't have any coupons this time. I was disappointed. But we kick off the main show with Adam Copeland and Kristen Cage teaming up against FTR. And both teams look great. I mean, for those guys, it's just like riding a bicycle, and, the Toronto crowd's super hot for them. Great decision to have that one lead the show off. But the aftermath, during an aftermath, Beth Phoenix, and I don't know if they're, if they're going to be calling her Beth Copeland or what they're going to call her now, it got involved in the match. And then in the post-match, FTR gave her the beat down. They took care of it, and pretty interesting stuff there. But Jason, I think overall, are you surprised that Beth actually got on AEW cameras. I mean, that's a big deal. That's the shot to WWE. And this is a WWE Hall of Famer popping in. That's huge.
No, I don't think it's a big shock. I think it was only a matter of time till she got involved. I think you saw the success that they had when they had the two of them working together on WWE. I think it was only a matter of time as to how to bring her in and when to bring her in.
How much fun will it be if this is not going to end up just being the battle with FTR, but that she can get involved in the AEW women's division? Oh my Lord, that opens up just a myriad of possibilities.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you will see a little bit of it, but it's got to be the involvement with FTR first to break the ice and get her moving.
She's going to kill those guys, by the way. She's going to hurt them. I'm just like RIP FTR. By the way, there was an F the Revival chant last night.
Yes.
I'm having WWE flashbacks, and they were all over the place. And of course, during that match, Adam Copeland did an ode to John Cena as well. Some of the 5 moves of doom done in reverence to John, which really got the crowd going too. They were actually chanting Cena's name. And normally I would be like, oh, you don't want that. But I'm like, you know what? John's retiring. This is awesome.
Yeah, let it go.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's all good. Eddie Kingston makes his return last night against Big Bill. Match was a little but the Mad King is back, and that's awesome. And people just love the guy to death, and it's going to be fun seeing how much havoc Eddie Kingston's going to have. Of course, and he wore a Claudio Sucks Eggs t-shirt out. I love this Terry Funk revival with that shirt. That is fantastic. Yeah. But Eddie Kingston's back, and that's good for pro wrestling, Jason.
Oh, 100%. Always great to have him there. Always great to see what he does.
Yeah. Mark Briscoe and MJF in their tables and tax match. That one got a little rough. Little nasty match. But Mark Briscoe goes over on MJF. This is big for Mark Briscoe, as I think a lot of people sentimentally would love to see him maybe even become the AEW World Champion at some point. But what a huge move by Tony to be willing to sacrifice MJF a little bit for Mark Briscoe. That's saying something about Mark.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a surprise, but sometimes it's good to get that push in there. I think, Briscoe kind of deserves a little push. Maybe this is it. I don't know. I don't know if the match meant more, giving MJF kind of a little breather, so to speak. Don't take a vacation, as we would say, or where they go with him. I don't know.
And MJF's dedication to pro wrestling is just so incredible to me. You look at the fact that he showed up on Collision the day after he got married, by the way. I mean, that is saying something. Poor Alicia doesn't get the honeymoon, at least right now. And whatever honeymoon they have, she's going to be picking thumbtacks out of his back for the next 2 days.
Well, maybe the honeymoon is coming up.
Yeah. Just give him a little time, but and congratulations to MJF and Alicia Atout for their nuptials. So, but MJF going down to Mark Briscoe. Another big win yesterday. The now known as the Demand, Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona beat the Hurt Syndicate and MVP. I think to a point we kind of knew MVP was going to take the fall in this one, but he looked great. I mean, he wrestled very, very well. But that is a big win for Ricochet and those guys to beat the Hurt Syndicate.
Huge win. Absolutely huge win to take down the Hurt Syndicate. And like you said, MVP taking the one taking the L there, not a surprise. Not a surprise at all. To me, the surprise is that he's really still actually lacing them up.
Yeah.
At some point, just call it.
But I'll tell you what, he looked good though, and
he did.
But to me, the real standout match, Shelton Benjamin. Good God, he was awesome yesterday.
He's always been underrated.
Oh,
they've never really given him his props in either company.
He's getting there in AEW. They're still warming up there with the Hurt Syndicate, but big props to Shelton Benjamin. What another unbelievable performance last night. All right, everybody, stick around. Hour number 2 of the Mark Hoke Show is coming up. It's the best in pro wrestling, as we will be welcoming in David L. Shabazz, author of Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions, 3rd edition. And if you want to go check his website right now, it's David L. Shabazz. That's spelled Shabazz. And we're looking forward to having David on the show coming up here in the next hour. And we'll get back to All Out and a lot of other stories. There was finally got an arrest somewhere. We're celebrating. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show. Like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show. And visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join the Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
This is Ken Goodrich with Gettle. We over-prepared for the summer rush. Now our warehouse is overflowing with brand new AC units. So here's the deal. Because we've got the gear and the time, buy a new air conditioning system before the end of the season, and we'll include a whole home Gettle air purification system at no cost to you. Now that's a breath of fresh air. No catch, no pressure, just the best deal we've offered all year. Call Gettle. That's GOETTL. We'll keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
Hi, I'm Sherry, owner of Life Source Water. Here in Vegas, undrinkable, harsh tap water is a way of life, but it doesn't have to be. Our whole house water system is the home appliance you'll love using every day. Life Source builds every system, installs it, and offers factory direct pricing. Now we are offering a double dip in savings. Free basic installation plus an extra $250 off. That's up to $1,200 in savings. Call our factory at 1-800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com. Hurry, offer ends September 30.
Warranty limitations apply.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Your child is 18. And suddenly, you no longer have legal access to their medical info, even in an emergency. No health decisions, no financial help, nothing, unless you plan ahead. That's why Trust and Will created the Young Adult Plan. It includes HIPAA authorization, healthcare directives, and power of attorney. Everything your child needs to stay protected and stay connected. Go to trustandwill.com and get your Young Adult Plan for just $69. Because turning 18 shouldn't mean cutting parents out of the picture. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Lowe's knows how to get you ready for holiday hosting with up to 35% off select home decor. And get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, members get free delivery, haul away, basic installation, parts, and a 2-year Lowe's protection plan when you spend $2,500 or more on select LG major appliances. Valid through 10/1. Member offer excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, and Florida. Installed by independent contractors. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me. Like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
KMXP HD3 Henderson, K260HCS Las Vegas, 1015 FM KDAWN. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Mourners have been lined up through the night. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. Outside State Farm Stadium to attend Charlie Kirk's memorial service today. President Trump, among those expected to speak. Fox's Matt Finn is in Glendale, Arizona.
we could see a long line of cars around the perimeter of the stadium trying to get in today. People paying their respects to Charlie Kirk, and all in the distance we could see law enforcement and those red and blue lights in the distance. So security intensifying right now, and also people showing up very, very early, because our understanding it is first come, first serve. So people want to make sure they can get inside of this stadium today. And Turning Point USA, ahead of the Memorial today, released some guidance asking people to wear their Sunday best, preferably red, white, or blue. Also, Turning Point urging everyone that there is a strict no bag policy. Everyone will be greeted with intense security as President Trump, the Vice President, Charlie's widow, Erica, and many more members of the cabinet and VIPs are expected to speak today.
Erica Kirk was also selected to succeed her husband in leading Turning Point USA, the political organization aimed at spreading conservative values among high school and college students. Police say a suspect is in custody after a shooting at a New Hampshire country club left at least one person dead. New Hampshire's Assistant Senior Attorney General Peter Hinckley.
There were some gunshot wounds. There may be some non-gunshot wounds. Again, that's one of the details that we're still trying to figure out as part of the investigation that Nashua is actively pursuing.
Potential motive not yet released. The shooting at the Sky Meadow Country Club reportedly during a wedding reception. Britain and Canada and Australia today announcing they've formally recognized a Palestinian state. Supporters say recognition could help advance peace talks and highlight Palestinian rights. But Israel says recognition of a Palestinian state does not promote peace, further destabilizes the region, and undermines chances of achieving a peaceful solution in the future. America's listening to Fox News.
From around the world,
Trey Yingst, joining us from Tel Aviv, Israel.
To Washington,
I'm Mike Emanuel.
To your own backyard. If a story impacts you or your wallet, we're on it. It's the Fox News Rundown. We give every story the deeper look it deserves, with must-listen interviews and smart analysis from the voices you can trust. Start your day with the Fox News Rundown. Listen and follow now at foxnewsrundown.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey, this is Trey Gowdy, host of the Trey Gowdy Podcast. Every Tuesday, you'll hear what's on my mind. Plus, every Thursday, there's a special bonus episode where we answer the questions that are on your mind. Make sure to spend your Tuesdays and Thursdays with Trey. Subscribe now at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts. Hope to see you.
America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, this is Ted Cruz. Join Ben Ferguson and me each weekend for Verdict. We take you behind the scenes for the ultimate insider show with the most up-to-date news and reaction.
Saturday mornings at 10 on KDAWN and everywhere on the free Odyssey app.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Yeah, they haven't gotten rid of me yet here at KDAWN. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us on 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We're also out there on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Get that now, and there'll be an angel on your shoulder, Rock, I promise you. Go get it. It's a great app. All our shows from all over the Odyssey family, 220 plus stations, plus so many other great podcasts. So make sure you check that out right now. And of course, we're also streaming live on X, YouTube, and Facebook. Facebook is the Mark Hoke Show, same YouTube, and then X is at Mark Hoke Show, where you can join us and fire away at us and our upcoming guest here. And I'm excited about this because I am being such a wrestling historian that I am, Jason, because you know I always love reading up on these guys, especially when I was a kid. Man, I wanted to learn everything that I possibly could. It's impossible to put together a complete compendium of the history of pro wrestling, but our guest has done a fantastic job featuring a lot of the trailblazing Black professional wrestlers that have come down the line. And he has his third edition out of Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions that is available now on his site at davidlshabazz.com, and also, of course, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you want to go get it. It's a great read. Check it out. Let's bring in Dave. How are you, sir?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I survived eating a lot of food last night, but otherwise I'm all right. So
that's wonderful.
Well, David, I am so happy that you reached out, and we're just excited to do this segment on the show, kind of breaking up all the news from yesterday. It was a wild day. But tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into pro wrestling. I mean, you're a professor, you've been, journalism, and but once again, that pro wrestling thing ties us all together, man.
Well, yes. Pro wrestling is something that I've been a fan of basically my entire life. I was kind of forced into it because my family watched pro wrestling. So growing up as a kid, it was always on. I really didn't have a choice. So it's something that I grew to actually love and enjoy. This particular book, actually, my brother was the one who wrote this, the first edition of this book, which actually grew out of a article that he wrote for one of the wrestling magazines. I think it was Kayfabe at the time, but I may be wrong about that. They commissioned him to write an article about the Black World Champions. And so out of that article, he expanded it into more of an ebook. And from there, as more and more, that first edition, there were like 13, I believe, people in that one. And now it's grown to about 27.
Wow, that's fantastic. So tell us a little bit about you too. What do you do?
I am a journalism professor now. I worked in the field for several years. I was primarily a newspaper reporter, but I also worked in radio journalism. And so that's sort of my background. I teach these days, so I'm not really as active anymore because the teaching really keeps me very busy. I still try to write columns every now and then, newspaper columns, but it's kind of tough when you're teaching the kids. Most of your students, most of your energy goes into them, because I'm teaching college students, so they're young men and women, so I can't really call them kids technically.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, let's start getting into some of the book and some of the history behind Black World Champions and other wrestlers. And what really inspired you to continue this? Because I think it's an area that has been a little lacking in terms of pulling all of this history together for Black professional wrestlers and their history and what they went through.
Yes, I agree. It's really something that to kind of give some backstory on how it came about. My brother's he wrote Black Stars of Professional Wrestling back in 1999, and that grew from, in 1998, the great Bobo Brazil died, and in like January, and then around the summer, June or July, JYD died. And so that was it just hit. It was a trigger, I guess, for my brother. It just hit him really hard. He was a librarian at the time. And so for somebody who was basically, dealing with books, and he wasn't really an archivist, but, he was dealing with books all the time. So he was looking at research, and he was like, wow, these people are dying, and there's not much material out there on them. So he wrote that particular book, which was really trying to compile almost every Black professional wrestler that was in the ring out, that made it beyond the independent circuit. He basically was trying to chronicle all of them, and that's where everything started, from that book in 1999 that he wrote.
The influence of Black wrestlers, especially the early ones, when you look at people like Bobo Brazil, like Bearcat Wright, Ernie Ladd. How difficult were their lives out there on that pro wrestling circuit? Give us just a little taste of it.
It was tough, and that's what I really want people to understand. I mean, it was not easy for it. Wasn't easy for any wrestlers at the time, because wrestling still, it had that stigma of being lowbrow in the form of entertainment. So it was rough for everybody. So especially the black professional wrestlers at the time, when they were facing discrimination, they could only wrestle each other, especially when you're talking about the Bearcat Wrights and the Bobo Brazils. At one time, they could only wrestle other black wrestlers. And Bearcat was the one who really made that stand in Indiana, when he decided that, look, I'm not going to wrestle any more of these segregated matches. And he was about to be suspended by the Indiana Athletic Commission, and the NAACP, sided with him, and they were going to take up his case. And then I guess the Athletic Commission said, okay, we don't need the trouble, so we're not going to suspend him. And that kind of led to the integration of a lot of the territories, especially in the Deep South. And let me just say, the black wrestlers could participate in some integrated matches up north and out on the West Coast. It was just really the Deep South where they had to, the Jim Crow laws were still in effect, and they basically could only wrestle other black wrestlers.
Were there any notable white wrestlers that also took that stand and stood by these guys and said, look, this is stupid, let's just get everybody together and do this right?
There was one in particular. I can't think of his name. He was the partner of Norval Austin. And because Norval was he was the original Midnight Express, and it wasn't Dennis Condrey, but it was his partner before at that particular time. I mean, this guy, he hung out in black bars and restaurants. He hung out with black people. It's like he was purposely trying to challenge the system. And his name escapes me at the time. And of course, Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. Buddy Rogers doesn't really get the credit that he deserves, because he wrestled Bobo and Bearcat and others, and they had major draws, and that's really something that helped people see that, because there was always a stigma that, the excuse was that, there are not enough black fans and the black wrestlers are not drawing the kind of money. But when you put them in there with somebody like Buddy Rogers, who gave them a chance, they could see that, some of these guys can really draw a lot of money, and it gave the opportunities to more black wrestlers.
Yeah, especially Bobo Brazil, who actually, did win the NWA title, but didn't get recognized. I mean, and he wasn't the first guy that happened to. I mean, that there have been, the NWA did some crazy stuff over the years, but just give us a little idea about Bobo Brazil. Tell us a little bit about him, because I think some of our younger fans, may not be that aware about Bobo and what he did.
Yeah, Bobo was amazing. To kind of put him in context, Bearcat was labeled as difficult to work with because of his stand, and Bearcat Wright kind of did a few things to earn that reputation. When he won the WWA belt from Classy Freddie Blassie, and he kind of refused to do the job back to him, to drop the title back to him. He was really happy being champion and decided, hey, I'm enjoying this and I want to stay champion.
Nice.
I'm sure everybody else did too.
Yeah.
But, so he was labeled, whereas he was labeled as difficult to work with. Everybody loved Bobo Brazil. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, all of the fans loved. Bobo just had that charisma. And Bobo was nice and friendly, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, or he wasn't kissing anybody's behind or anything like that. He was just a genuinely nice guy, and so people liked him, and he was a great performer. And that's what really helped Bobo Brazil get over. And like you were saying, he actually won a match over Nature Boy Buddy Rogers for the NWA title, which was the most respected title back during that time. And because of the NWA's, it was a great marketing gimmick. I'll give them credit for it. They wanted to, in the territories, the champion would, and I know you know this, the audience may not know, in the territories, the NWA champion would travel and he would face their regional champion. And it was a situation where he always made that champion look good, but he escaped with the win. And many times it would be like a disqualification where you would let that regional champion win the match, but win by disqualification. So Buddy kept the belt. And that's kind of what happened in that situation with Bobo. Bobo actually pinned him, but they said that Buddy was injured before the match. So the NWA did not recognize that win. But Bobo Brazil was an amazing performer back in the day.
Yeah, we're on with David Shabazz. He is the author of Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions. Volume 3 is now out and available at all your favorite book outlets. So make sure you pick this up. Who do you think was the Black performer that really pulled everybody in and may have been the one to kind of break that glass ceiling? I think about a guy like JYD who was just, blew things up down in the South. But, who would you rate as the guy that everybody's like, okay, we're done with all this, the racial nonsense. We're behind this guy, white, black, whatever race?
I'd have to say Ron Simmons. Ron was the one who basically started it. When Ron won the WCW championship, he was recognized as the first Black world heavyweight champion, and people really don't understand in a subjective business like that, where it's not really based on a competition. There's so many other factors that go into it, because there were other guys who were looked at before. There were the JYDs, the Tony Atlas. Tony Atlas had a huge push at one time. Hacksaw Butch Reed, who was actually battling JYD a lot during the time, and had great successful matches with Ric Flair at the time. I mean, so there were lots of Black wrestlers who they were looking at, but they just didn't, something happened and they didn't quite fit the mold that the industry was looking for to put the belt on. So I have to say it was Ron Simmons when Ron wasn't actually expecting it at the time. Big Van Vader was in a feud with Sting, and Sting was actually injured. And so Ron came to work one day and like, okay, you're going to win the belt tonight. He's like, what? He was shocked. And for the people who remember Van Vader, Vader was another tough guy, a real guy who was real tough, used to be a football player. I mean, so you really had to fight him. And it was one of those situations where, kind of like how Andre the Giant did with Hogan. I mean, we may have the plan for you to win, but you're going to earn it. You're going to beat me in this match. And if you do that, then yes, I'll let you get the win. And that's where, Ron and Vader, and if you look at those guys, were actually battling a lot, because both of them were big, tough guys. And it was like, I don't want you to pull your punches with me because I can take it. And so, so I would really have to say that Ron Simmons was the guy that everybody just kind of rallied behind.
Awesome. Hey, David, can you stick around for another segment? Would that be all right? Fantastic. Sure. Yeah, let's keep this rolling here. And I know Jason's going to want to get in on this too. And guys, if you're in chat box, you have any questions for David Shabazz, author of Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions, Volume 3, fire away. We would love to hear from you. So let's hit that break, and we'll be back here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas, with Jason Halperin and David Shabazz. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
For contest rules and web exclusives, visit our website at KDWN.com and click Contests at the top of the page.
We know that we're supposed to be getting ready for retirement, but it seems so complicated. So why not get help by listening to Golden Years, a roadmap to navigate retirement, with host Mark Cordner every Saturday at noon, right here on 101.5.
With the two Jewels of Henderson, the Emerald Island Casino, and the Rainbow Club, you've got the best paying slots valley-wide, best video poker valley-wide, and the best food and service you'll find in all of Southern Nevada. The Emerald Island and Rainbow Club casinos, where slot players are treated like royalty and everyone is greeted and treated like family. Great daily specials and parking is always free. Join your friends, family, and neighbors for round-the-clock fun. Think different. Think better. Think Emerald Island and Rainbow Club casinos, the Jewels in downtown Henderson's historic Water Street district, where everyone's a winner.
Dude, did you order the new iPhone 17 Pro? Got it from Verizon, the best 5G network in America. I never looked so good.
You look the same.
But with this camera, everything looks better, especially me.
You haven't changed your hair in 15 years. Selfies? Check, please.
New and existing customers can get the new iPhone 17 Pro, designed to be the most powerful iPhone ever. With eligible phone trade-in and unlimited ultimate. Any condition guaranteed. Best 5G source root metrics data, United States, 1H 2025. All rights reserved. Trade-in and additional terms apply for all offers. See Verizon.com for details.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Yeah, little old me. Mark Hoke here on the Mark Hoke Show. KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment, and we are having a great time here as we have a special guest, David Shabazz, author of Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions. A third edition is out. You can get it at his website at davidlshabazz.com. Last name is spelled Shabazz, or it's also available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all your favorite book outlets. Jason Halperin, fire away, buddy.
Well, hi, David. The question I have for you is going into, I guess we're going to come into a little bit newer past the Ron Simmons, WrestleMania 19, the controversy.
I know we all know.
Everyone knows there's controversy. What is your take on it? I mean, do you really believe that it was controversy, or was it really dealing more with Booker T's past. What's your take on it?
It and that's something that and I knew that question was coming because I started the book off with basically an analysis of that particular situation. I thought it was apropos for the book that's talking about champions, and in that promo for their match, Triple H versus Booker T. Triple H said something to the effect of someone like you doesn't get to be a world champion. And just looking at the optics of it, there's a white wrestler who's the champion talking to a black wrestler, Booker T, saying someone like you doesn't get to be a champion. So everybody's immediately going to think race is going to be the first thing that you're going to think. I don't initially think that that's what it was about. To put it in context, I think there may have still been WWF at the time, bought WCW, and I think it was what I like to say, Vince McMahon's ego, and I'm better than everybody. My company, we won the war, we beat you. And I think it was more of a situation of trying to say one person was the representative of WWF and Booker T was the representative of WCW. At the time, Booker T was like the most decorated champion. The company ended. He was a double champion. I think he was both United States heavyweight champion and world heavyweight champion. Had been the champion 5 times. So Booker T was essentially the franchise, the face of WCW. And I think it was really about Triple H trying to say that WWF is better than WCW. And, that's me being better than you in that sense. But obviously, when you're looking at it, and I think maybe the crowd and everything got involved and he was trying to play the heel role. And I think he just went a little too far when you go into personality conflicts and you start saying things like your nappy hair. You don't have to say things like that. You can build up and be a heel without getting personal, because when you say stuff like that, people are obviously going to think that it's racial. And personally, I think that may have been part of Triple H for real. I think that's sort of his. I think that's his ideology, because I remember DX when they came out in blackface, imitating the Nation of Domination. Why would you do that when you know how painful that was for black people to go through? And you guys are going to come out in blackface? Come on now. So I think that's Triple H. I think that's really him.
Wow, that is a heck of a statement. And and I'll give you a chance maybe to double down on this a little bit, because the black female wrestlers have been very successful recently, but in WWE, not that there's not that many of them that are up on the main roster, and they just seem to, they're always in a tag team. There's this streak going on of there hasn't been a black singles wrestler wrestling a match on a PLE for a year and a half now, which is just odd. You would think this would all be over by now. Is it?
I don't think so. I think there's still a lot of room for growth out there. I'm very happy for Bianca Belair, certainly. She's in AEW now. Mercedes Moné, formerly Sasha Banks, very decorated, with all of the titles that she's won, and she shows it off every week. Naomi was really largely underrated, and I'm glad for Naomi to have a chance at the title, because I think that she's really deserved it, and certainly happy for her right now, starting her family, her and Jimmy Uso. So I know, professionally she had to give up the belt, but good thing for them personally as a family. I just really, a lot of those opportunities, and kind of going back to, I've got them featured in this particular edition, and some of the criticism I got, I guess, on the last the second edition, I didn't really have a lot of the black females in there. They were not listed. And the reason for that was because they all were in WWE at the time, and WWE did not call their champions the champion. They they were into this branding, and so Sasha was like the Raw champion, and Bianca had won like the SmackDown champion. I'm like, okay, well, who is the champion? Because they weren't really calling them the champion. And now I'm glad that they're calling, that they decided that, look, okay, so if we're going to have two recognized world titles, then call it that. So now they have the WWE Women's Champion and the WWE Women's World Champion. And that's great, instead of calling them a SmackDown champion and a Raw champion. If you defend it on a certain brand or TV show, that's one thing, but give them the respect that it deserves. If you consider those world champions, then call them that.
And it's very interesting, when you go to the AEW side too. I've had the chance to have an extensive conversation with Swerve Strickland, and a guy I know that you talked about here, and he is very vocal about being the first black AEW world champion. And then you go to Bobby Lashley, who was asked about it, and he's like, look, I don't look at the race thing. What did you think about, how do you feel about those two different reactions to, being a black champion and a prominent pro wrestler?
Well, I certainly don't know Bobby Lashley's rationale for saying, for kind of downplaying that, I guess. But it is very significant. And he's one of the few, Bobby's one of the few black male wrestlers at the time to win a championship. And he's won titles, and he's won, in both of those promotions. He's also won it in TNA when TNA was much larger promotion than it is now. I think it's been sort of, their partnership with WWE has kind of put them on the level with NXT, their developmental brand, which is kind of diminishing TNA, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Yes.
David, you're going to be on the show a lot more after you just said that.
Yeah, I mean, TNA at one time, was had the rights to the NWA championship, the real title. I shouldn't say real title, but historically the most respected title in the business. And so I think it's sort of a diminish in them. But Bobby, I don't know, but I side with Swerve Strickland. And, this is still a major accomplishment for a black wrestler to win the world heavyweight championship. And that's something that should be, I don't want to say exploited, but it's definitely something that should be noted.
Fair enough. Jason, go ahead.
Yeah, David, right now with wrestlers like Bianca, with Mercedes, with Swerve, with Bobby, all these are wrestlers that are at the forefront right now that are carrying these companies, so to speak. They are all at the top of their game. Who do you see as basically taking over the reins and are going to be basically carrying the next generation of black wrestlers?
I would certainly like to see Carmelo Hayes.
Yes.
I think, and if my understanding is correct, Shawn Michaels has been working with him. And Shawn is one of the best performers of all time. So certainly if someone like Shawn takes you under his wing, I think that it's very promising for Carmelo. I'd like to see Trick Williams maybe rise to that level as well. Trick has got great popularity right now. I don't know how far he's going to go. I certainly hope he goes to the main roster and can become the WWE champion. He's fellow guy from fellow South Carolinian where I was born. So I definitely support him, and I want him to be the champion, if nothing else, because he's a fellow South Carolinian like me. But I really think that Carmelo has the opportunity to really rise to the next level.
Carmelo's a great guy too. I got to interview him, and he is just so thankful for everything that he's gotten. And I still just shake my head that he hasn't gotten a bigger push in WWE. Okay. By the way, in the chat box, Brian Scoop was talking about WrestleMania 19 and said it felt odd in person, even worse on TV. I think that's a very fair assessment. And Scoop also said in the chat box, I love seeing faces that look like mine achieving at all levels in pro wrestling, even BTS where I live. And, and I'll tell a fast story too, that I was at a SmackDown one time and was sitting behind a black family. And when the New Day came out, I mean, those kids, their faces just lit up, and you could just tell that it was something really special for them to see the New Day, and being, both all being black and just being a great role model for them. They were so happy. And I think that's something that really gets downplayed in pro wrestling, that we're all trying not to see race, but it still helps to, like Scoop said, seeing somebody who looks like them succeeding.
Yes, I mean, if it really kind of goes back to last year, 2024. That was the 70th anniversary of Sir Roger Bannister breaking the 4-minute mile 70 years ago. So a lot of people may not, have the context of something like that. It was thought to be impossible to run a mile in under 4 minutes. And when Sir Roger Bannister did that in 1954, the following year, like 24 people did it. So representation means a lot. When they see that somebody can do it, it gives that inspiration for everybody else to do those things.
I think that's very well said. Very well said. So tell us a little bit more about the book. I want to make sure we give you a chance to really plug this thing. Break it down for us. When somebody picks up a copy of Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions Volume 3, what are they going to get?
This one is bigger and bolder than the previous two. We have 27 single wrestlers in this one, 14 of the tag teams, which is new. I did not have the black tag team wrestlers before. So this one details the Soul Patrol, first black tag team, Rocky Johnson, The Rock's father, and Tony Atlas. When those two guys won the championship, up to certainly Harlem Heat, Booker T and Stevie Ray, those guys. So I think that's one of the things that makes this particular book a little different, because I thought it was good to kind of add the tag team champions in there as well. So it's going to have a lot of different profiles of those wrestlers, and I'm really expecting people to learn a lot about them, their individual struggles and things that they had to go through, but also to kind of celebrate them as well. Information, and I think it's a good read for everybody. I think that the audience would leave inspired after reading these stories.
Well, guys, pick this book up. It is going to be a read that I think you'll be thrilled to do. And David, I got to tell you what, we got to give you on the show more, man. Because that's, I think we see some things eye to eye that, we'll have to invite you on a lot more. I think I would enjoy that a lot.
I'd love it, Mark. Anytime.
You got it. I'm gonna hold you to that. So once again, you can get David's book. Of course, he's got his website, David L. Shabazz. Once again, spelled SHABAZZ.com, where you can get all of his books and learn more about him. They're also available. Books also available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and other great sources out there. So, David, I want to thank you for coming on the show. This was a blast.
Thank you. I enjoyed it, and I really would love to come back and talk a little more, because I think we do see eye to eye on a lot of different wrestling issues.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have you back soon, David. So thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
You got it. David Shabazz, everybody. That was fun. I enjoyed that. enjoyed that a lot.
Absolutely. Great guy.
Oh, we got it. Yeah, he's coming back. He's coming back. he may be getting promoted too. I just I have a feeling that we will be teaming up on some issues. I really do. Awesome guy. But yeah, once again, pick that book up. It's Pro Wrestling's Black World Champions 3rd edition. All right. Well, we took an extra segment because we were just having so much fun with David. And we've got a lot more to talk about. We got to still wrap up AEW All Out because got a new women's world champion.
Yeah.
My girl shocks the world. I'm so happy for her too. We'll let you know who that is and a whole lot more when we return here. Final segment of the Mark Hoke Show with Jason Halperin. We'll be right back.
More than 340,000 Southern Nevadans still experience food insecurity, and you can fight back. September 22nd through September 26th, Odyssey and Silver State Schools Credit Union present Four Corners Food Drive. Find us broadcasting from an Albertsons location near you. Partners from across the valley are on a mission to support 3 Square Food Bank, and we need your help. Join our partners, including Centennial Toyota, the Valley Health System, and Bonano's New York Pizza Kitchen, and donate today at 3square.org/4corners. Together, we can put an end to hunger in the Vegas Valley.
Dear future, Toyota leads the way with hybrid tech and all-wheel drive. With style for miles, the Camry gives you up to 51 combined MPG. The Corolla Cross is packed with tech, and the future-forward Prius takes you further. No matter where the road leads, Toyota's hybrid tech and available all-wheel drive get you there. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Visit your Southern Nevada Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Chumba Casino brings non-stop fun straight to your screen. Anytime, anywhere. Explore hundreds of games like slots, blackjack, and instant scratch-style cards. Sign up to unlock your free welcome bonus and daily login bonuses. And enjoy your chance at exciting prizes without spending a thing. Just click, play, and enjoy the ride. Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Lowe's knows how to help make your home holiday ready for less. Get Select Style Selections vinyl flooring for just $1.99 per square foot and have it installed before the festivities begin. Our team can help you every step of the way. See a Lowe's Red Vest associate or visit Lowe's.com/holiday install to get started. Lowe's, we help, you save. Basic install only. Date restrictions apply. Subject to availability. Installed by independent contractors. See associate for details. Contiguous U.S. only.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Jason Halperin joining me. Jason is sitting there looking stunned on the live stream. Frozen. That was terrific, by the way. Thanks again to David Shabazz for coming on the show. And I got to remind everybody real fast, and then we'll get into our final segment. If you are in need of health insurance, life insurance, you have a company that handles benefits, I have the guy for you in town, our good friend Pat Casal, who's the underboss who sits in for Steve Sanchez when we need him on his show from 3 to 6, which I produce here on KDAWN. Man, the multi-care group is going to help you out. Pat's going to be hooking me up with some more insurance coverage. and he can help you out too wherever you are, not just in Nevada. He can get you health insurance coverage across the country, especially you guys that are pro wrestlers. Jeez,
gonna need it.
You need it. So give Pat a call, 702-286-1014, 702-286-1014. That is 702-286-1014. Pat Casal of the Multi-Care Group. Shoot him a text. Somebody, if somebody reaches out to Pat Casal today to talk to him about health insurance, I will do something cool for you. Maybe I'll even let you come on the show.
Hey,
So
that's worth it.
Hit Pat up and tell him Mark Hoke sent you, and you can drop me a line, and I'll confirm. We'll do something fun for you, I promise. All right, so back to AEW All Out as we run down through. Going to have to buzz through these quick because I had a couple of things to hit. Mercedes Moné with 8 half-naked guys comes out with wearing their belts. She beats Riho, so Mercedes Moné continues her reign as TBS champion. And by the way, she looked gorgeous yesterday.
Always does.
Oh, she took it to a new level. Okada beats Takeshita and Mascara Dorada in their match for the AEW Unified Championship. Mascara Dorada, I think, won some new fans yesterday. He was outstanding. I mean, we already knew about Okada and Takeshita, and not like we didn't know about Dorada, but Jason, he was awesome yesterday.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mox gets into it with Darby Allin in their coffin match. Moxley is your winner, and they carried Darby out in a coffin. And it was some pretty rough stuff in that one too. But then later on, for some reason, Darby was still lying in the casket backstage. All the Death Riders hop in a truck except for Moxley, and as soon as they pull away, Darby gets out of his body bag, out of the coffin, clobbers Mox, puts him in the body bag, and for the second time, Darby Allin has lit somebody on fire on an AEW pay-per-view. Are you kidding me? Jason, are we condoning lighting people on fire?
It's, you know what? And you wonder where kids get the ideas.
That is a concern, but
it's just a little bit.
But man, Mox stayed in the bag too. He was in there. He was in there. It wasn't one of those things where they faked that, man. That bag started to go up and Mox was climbing out of there and scratching and clawing. It was pretty interesting. The Women's World Championship in the 4-way match, where all 4 women looked awesome. They were fantastic. Tekla, I think, blew everybody out of the water yesterday. Jamie Hayter was great. Toni Storm is Toni Storm. But Chris Statlander picks up the victory. She is the new AEW World Champion. And I got to tell you, Jason, I think a lot of people were shocked, but well-deserved. Chris is awesome.
Yeah, I think it was one of those that they definitely had, unpredictable ending. I don't think anyone saw this one coming. It wasn't on the bingo card.
No, I would have figured if somebody was going to get that win, it was going to be Jamie Hayter. But
yeah,
congratulations to Chris. The AEW originals continue to shine big, and good for her. Ladder match for the AEW World Championship. Brodito holds on. Young Bucks, Jet Speed, and the Don Callis family with Hechicero and Josh Alexander. Everybody did a great job in that. Oh man, Speedball took some hits. Oh
Yep.
Yeah. But they retained their World Tag Team Championships in a great ladder match. And Hangman Adam Page holds on to the AEW World Championship against Kyle Fletcher. But Kyle Fletcher, I think, really impressed the world yesterday. And not that he didn't when he had that cage match with Ospreay, but since he's gotten out of his tag teams, he has just been phenomenal. And, if you're going to overlap a match with John Cena and Brock Lesnar going on from the competition, this was a good one to do it.
Yeah, Fletcher definitely, his confidence is there on his own now. I mean, he's definitely standing tall. Nothing to be ashamed about in this one.
No, he was
great.
He was fantastic. So, AEW All Out, another successful card. These guys know how to do a pay-per-view, that is for sure. But we did also, by the way, get the return of Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. The Jurassic Express is back together. I tell you what, I heard Perry was going to be coming back, but I was kind of surprised that we now have the Jurassic Express returning. I mean, I thought Jack was going to be sticking with the scapegoat thing, but when they started playing his old music, wow, Jurassic Express is back. Jason, are you happy about it?
Oh, who couldn't be? How could he not be?
Yeah. So, oh man, but a great card. We got a comment in the chat box from Jesse Hyde. WrestlePalooza was a good show, but AEW was too overbooked. Now for TK to do a big announcement on Dynamite. Yeah, Tony's got a big announcement. I'm wondering if it has to do with maybe they finally got this deal done with Fox. That would be, they've been trying to put a show on there for a while, and it's kind of their last available network home. So it's hard to speculate what Tony's coming up with, but maybe that's it, Jason. Maybe.
I'm hoping it's something. Hoping it's something big like that, and not just like announcing where a PLE is or anything. If you're doing that, you got to have something big.
Well, Tony also apparently was listening to the show last week because I had mentioned after WWE announced that they were going to Saudi Arabia that Tony apparently wants to put together something in the spring of 2027. Maybe, a pay-per-view and some stuff around it because all the indies aren't going to be able to go to Saudi Arabia.
Very true.
Good idea. Should Tony Khan counter program the Saudi Arabia WrestleMania? Should he do it, Jason, or do it on a different weekend?
It's a tough one there. I mean, that's a very, very selective crowd there. You're looking at maybe try to hit up a different weekend.
Yeah, I understand.
Maybe.
But God, there is just a part of me. There is a part of me that would love to see him put together some massive pay-per-view and do it on the same day as WrestleMania or one of the days. God, that would be sexy.
Well, but if you think about it, though, it wouldn't be out of the realm to think about it, depending on where you do it. How are you going to work the time for the Saudi Arabia WrestleMania? Everything is always kind of run off of the time frame here in the U.S. You're going to run it earlier, so it's going to be 6 a.m. in the morning on the West Coast.
Yeah, do something about 4 o'clock.
So the opportunity is there if you're going to run it on a different time.
Man, start the pre-show towards the end of WrestleMania, whatever day you're doing it, and the minute the last match is over, bang, first match goes out.
Absolutely.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
You time it right.
Yeah. Well, they're pretty good at what they do over there. Let's see. And real quick, I do want to make sure I mention Raja Jackson has finally been arrested. By the way, the LA County Sheriff's Department, after the incident with Psycho Stu, they have finally charged him with felony assault, $50,000 bail. Last I heard, he was still in the clink. Not sure if the bail's been posted yet or not, but Raja Jackson has finally had charges put on him. No hurry there, LAPD.
No, wasn't hurrying. Hey, and if I remember correctly, Rampage said that he was turning his back on this one. He felt that his son deserved to get what he gets on this one.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see how all this turns out. And we just have a couple about a minute here. So I do want to mention about ESPN, the first broadcast on there, but I tell you, Jason, a lot of people are upset that they had to shell out $30. There's only a few outlets that right now you can get it for free. And I was really surprised that they rushed this. And I think they just wanted to do it because of this all out thing that they were super counter programming. But man, it's $30, dude, $30 a month for, and people don't like ESPN and Disney.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little steep there, considering what everyone was paying before this to get it on some of the other ones. A lot less. I was actually under the impression that it was going to be, depending on who your provider was for ESPN, that it was already included.
Yeah,
it was not.
It was not. The only providers that you could get it if you were with Charter, which is Spectrum, DirecTV, Fubo TV, Hulu Plus Live TV, and Verizon Fios. That's it. I just wish they would have waited to roll this out, but I guess they were just too darn excited. And I got to say, it was weird seeing pre-shows and specials on ESPN.
Yeah.
Well, they did it, but
they actually cut away during college football games yesterday to kind of talk about it, which was really strange.
Oh, I think ESPN's a little desperation mode.
Absolutely.
Just me. But, well, Jason, thank you for coming down, man. I really do appreciate it. It was great to have you on the show again.
Always a pleasure. I was glad to be back. It's been quite a while.
Yeah. Well, we got to do it more often.
Sounds
so
good.
Just let me know when you're free. I'll get you in here. All right, guys. Hey, make sure you follow the show at Mark Hoke Show on X and, of course, on YouTube and Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show. We'd love to have you join the family. As you can see, we have a lot of fun on this show. By the way, next week we are scheduled to have Brian Solomon on the show, author of Irresistible Force, that book about Gorilla Monsoon that he wrote. So more interesting stuff and nostalgia here on the Mark Hoke Show. So make sure you join us next week for that. Guys, we'll see you next time on the Mark Hoke Show. And go back and check out our archives, especially on YouTube, markhokeshow.podbean.com for podcasts. We'll see you next week. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.